You can start to think, can I get this high line and carry the high line through, or might I get bullied in here a little bit and get pushed onto the low line? We know the bike's going to be moving around a little bit underneath us, but what we want to do is create that force to stop it when it does start.
Let me tell you a story.
Good morning and welcome to Aston Hill down south. We were actually at Brighton yesterday, weren't we, Todd?
Yeah.
So you will have hopefully seen that vlog from DMR and the upgrade people. We have come here today to meet an old mate, Ian Warby, who's absolutely awesome coach. He's coached Todd before, which you can actually view that here right now. And that was how long ago, dude?
2 years ago.
So watch that and then watch this. You'll hopefully see a lot of progression. Ian's coached some of the awesome riders out there, Brendan Fairclough, Deeks amongst others, and today he's got Todd and we're going to give him a bit more, well, he's going to give you a bit more of an advanced coaching session, isn't he?
Yeah.
So firstly, what do you reckon? New tops for 2010. These are our race tops. 2010. These are supplied. This is how they come from Ion, except we've had the pin put on and the hashtag kick the pin on the back. You can buy these tops.
These tops are made out of recycled plastic bottles.
Yeah, pretty cool. And something else we've been dying to show you, and we haven't been able to show you till now because they've been sort of under embargo, and that is our new bar and stem cockpit setup for 2020. This is the new Unite stem. We've been testing these, but we've been keeping a bit quiet about them because we've been waiting till the 1st of March to talk about them. Their new alloy bar. We've got what's the rise on them, Todd?
30 mil.
And on the back of the bars, as you can see, this is our setup for vlogging, just showcasing all the sponsors. And that's obviously not how the bar comes.
And I've got my special stem cap, Rick and Morty.
So Todd, his cockpit, you've got the narrow death grips, then the Unite bar and stem, and then if you look at mine, similar but different. I got the purple, the wider death grips. Yes, I've just dropped my bike, that's why it's dirty. And there you go, all purple, lovely. So we're just going to wait for Ian and then we're going to get out on the bikes and have some fun. Yeah. Ian isn't quite ready yet because he's doing some sort of trail building, track maintenance type thing down in the woodland, which I think he does every Saturday because he's awesome like that. He's, you know, a real big part of this area. So we've had a run in, Todd.
Yeah, it's very muddy, very slippy. We're very muddy, but it's fun.
Just from one go, literally like 1 minute. I'll just show you this little fun bit that you can do. I'm not going to follow Todd because I have to go a bit faster than him to clear the jumps because I'm fat and heavy. So this is called Ricochet. We're not going to go all the way down because we don't know what time Ian's going to be ready. Just some fun little jumps. You can see the wet on the ground. Got some little roots here and there. Bit of a step down here. Whoa! Yeah, it's proper slick already. Up onto the roots. Nice envy noise. And there you go. Not going to go all the way down, like I said. How are you, Ian?
Yeah, good, thanks, Jim.
So today we have our skills training with Todd. First of all, do you want to tell the pin people what you've been doing this morning, because it's quite interesting?
Yeah, just been out on Aston Hill doing the first build day that we've done in quite a few years. Basically what we've got as part of our KPIs to kind of get the club in on the hill is to do some build days. So we've just got 10 people up this morning to do that. 2 groups, one working on repairing some of the trails on the downhills, and we've been working on the red run, just reinstating some of the track and clearing the slop out really.
Perfect. So today's training. Obviously we did the one a couple of years ago, which is more the basic stuff.
Yeah.
What will he be looking at today?
Yeah, so what we'll do is a bit of a refresh, just kind of running through just to make sure Todd's up to speed with the coaching system that I use, so introducing that and then having a look at some of the sections he wants to work on. So probably the next bit's really just to catch up with Todd and find out if there's any areas that he thinks he can improve on, so looking at those strengths and opportunities and then going from there.
Perfect. Let's get out on the bikes, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
So off we go to the trail called Ricochet.
So what we'll do is, rather than doing a bit, normally I'll do a bit of warm-up, but
Yeah.
kind of what we'll do, if you've already done a few, is we'll just roll down over these top three and then stop at the end of that next straight.
Okay.
And then we'll just start from there, having a look.
Yeah, fine.
What we're going to look at here, Todd, is just what I do is call these overspeed sessions. So working on the speed and carrying the speed down the track. Well, you can push up this forest road and then start from where that little hump is, and then getting your speed in, and then using this trunk here as your turn-in point to try and get as tight as you can to the inside here to follow the line through the berm. And what we look at with line choice is really golden thread, your fastest line from the top of the hill to the bottom. And on the hill, that can change around a little bit depending on the conditions. And we'll go down and have a look at that berm and see why that outside line today just gives you a bit more support. In the middle here, Aston Hill's famous for its slot. And so if you get into that middle bit, what happens is that you realise that there's no grip. And so you hold on a bit tighter. And you can see from the tyre marks in here where people have got onto that line and the bike slid around a little bit. And then as you come out of the berm, where you want to be looking is right down to the end of that straightaway. And what we'll look at is just kind of how this line kind of affects the way the bike feels and how it comes through, and then down into this dip here, making sure you're keeping your head up. So it's very easy, when you look down, you hold your breath, when you hold your breath, you look down. So it's very easy in here to lose that breathing. And what you want to do is use slow and deep breathing, so in for 4 seconds, hold for 2, out for 5, and that just keeps you a lot calmer and helps to produce stimulant. And so we'll have a look at that once you start to do a few runs. You'll feel that stimulant start to build up, and then we can use that to get you going faster. And this smooth line does 2 things. It enables you to ride with a lot less force coming into the bike, but also enables you to line up to this hump a lot better. And so again, you'll find your eye line or run into this dip. What you want to be doing is looking up for that high point. And that can either be physical, so something you can see down the trail, or virtual, something you create. So if you imagine you had a logo or a light down there, you're looking for that head height in the middle of the trail rather than looking down. Basically what we use, Todd, is coach's eye. So on the video, what you can do is you can watch it back at full speed, then I can use the pinwheel to kind of freeze frame and roll you forward and back, and then I can annotate on the screen to show you what's going on. And what we're looking at here is kind of the elements we worked on the last session. So your body position, footwork, looking, your speed control, and then breaking the track down into entry, section, exit. And what I look for in the video is just where we call it the push. So where the bike pushes into you and you can be stronger and push back against it a little bit. So if you look at what went well coming through there faster, what would I change? Just keeping my body position strong, my footwork when looking, to get all of those bits working. But yeah, we'll give that another go through. And just what you'll find is the stimulant's beginning to build now. Coming into here, you can see where this pushes into you a little bit, but you can see as you come down, you've got the gate closed again straight away. So everything's looking really good through there. Then staying strong through here, you can see where you're set up on that high line. And what you'll find here is that the visual here just picks up a little bit. And so when you see this visual, there's no visual on this low line. So it just thinks, yeah, we'll hit the low line.
You're doing like a death grip.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
So bad at it, like I have to be covering the brake.
Yeah, and so covering isn't a problem.
Yeah.
What you'll find is one of the interesting things is when David Coulthard was racing his Formula 1 car, he actually had his brake pedal set so he could put his foot on it and rest it on it without it doing anything to the rest of the brake, because he knew he was a little bit nervous in some of the corners. And so obviously for us, we're not going to set the brakes like that, but it doesn't matter too much if you touch them a little bit going in. So yeah, give that a set up on that, and I'll do some filming as well. Little bounce there. Basically what that is that's opening the gate and then closing it again. And so if you imagine, what happens is that as you do that, it feels really good, but it loses quite a lot of energy. And the same here is as you come through here, you can see here where you get nice and tall, so that's really strong. And then here, as you come out of here, you can see where it just sinks in again. people feel the bike moving around underneath them because they're holding on too tight. You're rolling through and just finding that grip where you need it, because it's very easy when you get in the middle of this section up ahead to think so much about what you're doing rather than where you're going, whereas when you look from here you can't see that detail, so you're starting to look through. And what we call the things we see on the track are the visual performance cues, things we see but we want to look through them, so rather than looking at them. The reason we changed the name is if I said to you don't think of the pink kangaroo, you'd think of it straight away. The other secret to it is to think of it as like either like an onion where it's in layers, or looking at the earth when it's been cut in half. And what you have is a visual layer, the things you can see, and then a ground layer, the surface that you're going to pump through. So when you stand here, you can look for vision. So if you're going to go for the high line straight through, transition where you're going to pump, and then push where things are going to start pushing you. You can start to think, can I get this high line and carry the high line through, or might I get bullied in here a little bit and get pushed onto the low line? So what you'll see as I come through is I'll twist my hips into the hill to push the bike uphill rather than letting it run down, and that little hip twist just makes everything come to life. So if you imagine my legs are straight like this, as I add the twist, it's like twisting a piece of rope. It goes even more tension and it just drives it through. So I'll give it a quick demo, and then you can have a few goes through, and again we'll video it and see what's going on and go from there. Another one of the podcasts I was listening to was talking about how when they do the suspension testing and the frame testing, only the pros can put that amount of pressure through the bike. So most other people are pushed and fused, whereas the pros will push against it, and so you just get that drive through. And like you felt there, you can see where when you let the bike in a little bit, it just loses that little bit of force and drive and doesn't feel quite as good, but still look good.
What's like a list of all your well-known riders that you've coached?
Yeah, so cool, that's quite a long list. So riders that I've worked with that have raced will be kind of Jack Gagan, so Ollie Burton, who went on to finish, I think he qualified 14th at the World Cup and then finished in the top 30 one day. So Jack Gagan was really good. Phil Atwell I've worked with a lot. Who else? Al Worrell's been really good over the years. He was really good as a youth into junior. It doesn't race so much these days. Again in junior, Josh Mead and Tom Davies, another rider that did really well. So quite a lot of young riders in junior.
Ben Deacon.
Not so much with Brendan, but giving Brendan little teasers of advice over the years. And so often kind of catching up with Brendan, just having a chat about how things are going. And obviously the key here is to get round the corner rather than worry about how good the drop is. And so coming in, keeping your head up, looking through, and what you'll find is when you come out of this corner, if you look through there, you'll see where a pine tree snapped. You see that snapped off one? That's your high point, and you use that on this corner and that corner. Coming out of this one, where that tree's falling over, you can use where it goes behind this tree as your high point, or the horizon. And then what you get here is these trees create a picture frame effect, so you want to be looking through that picture frame rather than to it, and then dropping into the corner and doing what you were doing earlier. So these corners are perfect for what you've been doing, and then we can have a look at that and just get it going. And so what happened was that coming into here, when you got here, you were like, oh, I meant to be twisting my hips, and so the hip twist was just a little bit late. And what you want to do when you twist the hips is, you see how your arms have gone straight to drive the bike out? What you want to do is add a little bit of push on the bars to steer into there. And so when you come out of there, what you want to do is just roll that in, and then that will roll that through, and then flick it into that last little bit. And so as you come into there, the good thing is here is look how early your head's up and the wrist roll pushes you out of there. Then what we're looking at is as you go through, this arm pulled. So you see what it did is as it pulled, the back wheel went light. And so what you want to do is push there, and then that will drive the back wheel, and just run the radius of this berm. So it's good that you want to get inside on it, but if you run the outside of the corner, it will just give you a little bit more time. So you can see where it's a bit dark, but coming into there, as you turn in, you just turn in a little bit early.
So reflecting back on that day with Ian at FIRECREST mountain bike coaching, it was pretty awesome, wasn't it, Todd?
Yeah, really good.
What do you feel like you learned from that day?
Mainly, my main thing I thought was good was the tilt your wrists to get more grip.
Yeah.
Well, that was cool. And
closing the gate so you're keeping your body upright. And I could see throughout the day how his speed was picking up. At one stage when he was doing that no braking thing, he actually got away from me. So it was really good. I urge anyone, if you want any coaching, if you want to get coaching for a friend or for kids, check out FIRECREST. We'll put a link in the description. It'd be great to go and see Ian. We're going to be going back. He's going to be helping me out with some jumping. He's also going to be helping Dave Genvy out. That should be an interesting one, shouldn't it? I reckon it'd make a massive difference to Dave. So check out the description. We've got all the links in there. We've got the affiliate links, which will give you discounts on any of the stuff that we use, or quite a lot of it anyway. Also, give us a like, give us a subscribe if you haven't subscribed, comment, hit the bell for any notifications of any future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in 3 days. Keep it pinned.